Today is vlog number 96 of trying to grow my membership undeterred to $15,000 per month or more by April 2025. This is a membership I put together because I built several different businesses to 6 figures, and now I want to help other entrepreneurs around the world be able to grow their business as well and just be able to provide them any support that I can. And it's interesting because right now I'm here in Casablanca, Morocco, and it's my first time being in a Muslim country during Ramadan. And yesterday was very interesting because everything was closed. Like everything, all the restaurants, like everything. And people kept telling me everything. I'm thinking, okay, the restaurants, people won't be eating. Like literally everything was closed. And so it's just a very interesting vibe being here during this time. And today I actually have some exciting news and some updates, which I'll share with you here in a second. So as you can see, a lot of these shops are closed and just boarded up. Like they board up these, or they put the shutters down. So it's like a lot of the places. Like there's a couple of places that are open today, more than yesterday, but like most of these places are closed. It's so interesting to see, like you just see everything just boarded up and shut down. This is a coffee shop, Sinia, that I normally go to over here. They're boarded up and shut down. Yesterday it was just like a ghost town in here. So like all this is shut down over here. I don't know if this place over here is open. It's just, it's very, 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 very interesting if you have never experienced something like this before. All right, so one major change that I made to the membership today is I increased the membership fee. I was thinking about, like before, I was saying like, man, this is a membership where I can help people all around the world achieve their dreams, because I've achieved different dreams of mine and I have knowledge in so many different topics. But a lot of the like, if I'm trying to help people that are just working at a coffee shop or have a day job, they don't have a lot of money, especially in a lot of different countries. But not only do they not have money, the unfortunate thing that I've realized is like they don't have urgency. They're not really action takers. They're comfortable in their position. And so me trying to get them to pay for something, to join the membership, and then to take action when they're in it is kind of like pulling teeth. And it started to feel like, man, I'm just kind of like doing charity work. And I feel like I have too much knowledge to just be out here doing charity work, offering something for what was $27 a month. It just doesn't make sense. Now, if you don't know anything about me, you might be watching these vlogs and be like, yeah, but your business is only at this. This is a new business that I've created, right? And I think that's something I need to talk about more. I've built coaching businesses, online businesses that have done 6 figures, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've built clothing lines. I've done music production. I've done so many different businesses that have allowed me to, I haven't worked for anyone over the last like 10 years. And so I feel like if I'm going to be now focusing on helping entrepreneurs grow their business, because this is what a lot of people will ask me, hey, can I pick your brain on this? Can you help me with YouTube, content creation, sales, like all the different things I know about business? A lot of people ask me for, advice. I was like, it's hard to do this like just one-on-one all the time. I want to have a community, a place where I can help so many people. So if I'm helping entrepreneurs, it makes sense to be able to charge more. One, because they have more money, but two, the ROI is a lot greater. If you pay me $97 per month, for example, I'm going to help you make way more than $100 in your business. It's just going to happen because I have knowledge in so many different fields, right? And so I changed the membership fee, and what I want to focus on, and feel free to give me your feedback on this, is really helping entrepreneurs that have a burning desire to grow their business. They are serious. They have a mission, they have a purpose, and they have something bigger that they want to achieve. And they're just like, man, I need help getting there. Those are the people that I want to help. The people that I'm not just looking for money. I'm looking for people that are really going to hop into the membership, take advantage, and take action. Then as I'm making good money, I can go and I can help people for free if I need to. I can be in a place like Casablanca, help the entrepreneurs there for free if I need to, give them advice, feedback, tips, all these different types of things. But if my whole business model is just around people that don't really have money, don't really have a sense of urgency, I'm over here struggling financially because I'm trying to be a good person and help. And it just sucks because it's like, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, it's like you really want to help people, but that's not, unfortunately, that's usually not the way that the world works, right? And I remember one time someone told me, like, you need to have a business that serves people that are more serious and have more funds, and then you use that money to help the people that you might be like more passionate about making an impact on. And I thought I could kind of merge the two, maybe so, but I think now focusing more on entrepreneurs, getting people that are serious, charging more, getting them in, and then taking that money and then going to help other people is going to be like the vibe that I'm going for. So what I'll actually do is I'll share my screen and I'll show you like the different tiers and how I broke everything up. All right, so here are the different tiers that I have. So I have the community tier, and this is where people can come in and ask me business questions. They can network with other entrepreneurs doing daily accountability. There's a course on the 5 keys to growing your business, and they will get free resources on like lead generation, content creation, branding, sales. Like the different topics that I know, I'll create different resources, whether that's PDFs, guides, video lessons, etc. And that one is $97 per month. So it's basically like, hey, I want to be able to pick your brain and get access to all your resources. $97 per month. There's the calls tier. So this is the one in the middle. And this one includes the community membership, and they get weekly coaching calls. So every week I'll do a coaching call and they can come on and ask me questions. They'll get the call recordings, and I'll start probably doing some like monthly trainings. And then the next tier is one-on-one support. Oh, and that one's $297 a month, $297 per month. And then one-on-one support. So this includes the community and calls membership. And they get one-on-one coaching every single week. They get the recordings of those calls, and they get direct access to me via voice and text message. And that one, I have a price for it, but it's application only. So they got to click there to apply. So let me come back to the camera. So like I kind of touched on before, I feel like those prices are great. I feel like for what I'm charging, even if someone's like, hey, oh, this feels like a lot of money, you're going to make way more than that back. Like if you're working with me and you're paying even $300 a month, I'm going to help you make more than $300 per month with all the knowledge that you have, the availability to ask questions, and the networking that you're going to be able to have in there as this gets more members. And so the main thing is like they have to put in the work. So I think the issue is a lot of people are like, it's a lot of money. It's like, yeah, because you're not actually going to take advantage of it. But if you go in there, you ask questions, you use the resources, they connect with other people, like they're going to get their money's worth. And so I feel like this is in the right direction. And I actually kind of want to step away from trying to be like a cheap option and then just being like, hey, it's only $27 a month. It's just, I don't want to be the only or just guy. I want to be like, this is premium, but it's great. And now that I'm making a lot of money doing this, now I can come and I can actually help people for free without having to struggle. I feel like it's kind of like missionaries. It's like people that go into other countries. They want to be a missionary. They want to like talk to people about God, but they don't have any money. So like they're struggling to even help those people. But if you have like a good job, then you have this thing that's making you money, and then you can help these people. And so that I think the price increase is going to be great. Also, one thing that I changed is, I changed, but I'm still kind of working on it, is I was doing like daily check-ins where I would say, hey, what do you need help with? And I would do like a motivational voice message. I feel like, and not even I feel like, people don't really reply a lot to those. So I'm just thinking like, is it better to have daily check-ins? Because that doesn't sound so appealing on the website. If I'm just like, hey, you also get daily check-ins, I feel like it feels like a lot of work. Where it's like, oh, I got to check in every day versus daily accountability, where I can just ask like, hey, did you get done the things that you needed, that you said you were going to get done yesterday? And if not, like, what do you need help with? I feel like that's more like when I run surveys, people are like, they need accountability. So just got to figure out what that would look like. So here's something that's really cool. So Najma, who I met here in Casablanca, had been telling me about a podcast that she was doing, but she kept holding on to one of the episodes because she just kept rethinking it and trying to make it perfect and doing all this editing. And then I spent some time with her yesterday in person here in Casablanca, and then she actually posted it. So it's cool to see that she actually posted this podcast episode. And so I was thinking, like, she's probably going to want it. A good way to promote this is to create clips for Instagram. And so what I did is inside of our resources, in the content creation part, I made a video on how to actually make those clips. So I actually just posted it into the update. So you can just go in here and watch this. I shared my screen and I showed like, here's how I do it for mine. And then she can do it. So it's not little, but different things like this that I want to provide our members. That way, like when they want to know how to do something, they can just come into the resources and it's there. Because these are the types of things that people try to pick my brain on. Like, how do you make your clips? So it's like, you don't even have to like ask me. You can just come in here, go to the content creation, and that video is there. So just different things like this are things that I'll be adding over time for entrepreneurs. Yo, what up, Andy?
Okay.
Is this our first time video chatting?
Properly, yeah, I'd say so.
That's crazy, bro. It's like I've seen you. Wait, I can't really see your face for some reason.
Yeah, you've gone all blurry as well for some reason.
There
I'm
you
not
go.
sure if
Well,
it's Wi-Fi.
it was just the angle. But the cool thing about like Riverside, because like I did a call with someone the other day, and it was like super blurry. I couldn't even see them. But like Riverside records it on each person's individual device, so when I get the recording, it's
Okay.
like super clear. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy.
that's good.
I just remember like you would always be like, bro, I watched like all the vlogs, and then I knew there was an Andy in the membership, but I never you had never like changed the profile picture or added any nothing. So I was like, I don't know who this mystery guy is.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I saw what's his name? Taylor is back in Albania.
Yeah, bro, he was so excited to get out of here, but like he's happy to be back in Tirana, man. I'm happy for him. It's a good vibe out there.
And that's good. That's good.
And then I'm actually heading to Budapest tomorrow, actually.
Tomorrow, do you say?
Yeah, yeah. So I'll be out there for a bit and then try to figure it out from there. But
Oh,
story for another day.
crazy.
So what I know like when you filled out the thing for the call, I think you just said like try to figure out like what's the best thing for you to focus on. Like what do you mean by that?
Yeah, because I don't know if you remember when I put in that question in your weekly, um,
Weekly calls.
your weekly calls. My plan was obviously to build up my YouTube channel and then document the growth on IG, and then from there I'll sell a course on how I grew my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So it's like my IG was going to be sharing tips and behind the scenes, and then hopefully build up a following who'd be interested in buying a course to understand how I grew my YouTube channel. So I thought it was going to be simple. I just post my videos, get loads of views. Well, a couple of the videos popped off, so I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. But then, as you see, I had two back to back, like in my eyes, bombs that basically stopped my confidence in this plan that I've come up with. So I'm trying to figure out: do I still focus on that same plan, or do I go back to just trying to grow my YouTube channel and then go back to that plan once it's bigger? If that makes sense. Once the channel's
Yeah.
bigger.
My question so for like obviously for I know this, but like for obviously I'll post this on the blog. So for people that are watching, like you're the channel that you're growing now is like based on F1, like racing, and it's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
like uh they're kind of like mini almost documentaries or different it's like very storytelling. It's really good quality. So my question would be, what? Why do you want to help people grow their YouTube channel?
because that's a good question. Because it's a entertainment channel, and obviously we know that there's two ways to go on YouTube. You can either go education or entertainment. I went down the entertainment route, and I feel like maybe it'll be better if I try to go down the education route as well with like growing an IG and then selling a course. Because I think with entertainment channel, the only way,
Why YouTube and why a course? That's my question.
well, course, why course? I don't know. I think I'd enjoy it. If someone came up to me and goes, "Oh, how do you make your videos? How do you come up with the idea? How do you do the story? How do you do the editing?" I'd enjoy telling that to someone. I think I would really enjoy like making a course.
Okay.
If someone really wanted to know, like how I did
So,
it, I'd. Sorry.
here's my feedback on that. I think I'm decently good at like listening to what people are saying, looking at what they're doing, and be like, all right, this is how I see it. So at first, when I looked at your stuff, I was just like, what is? Why do you want to do a course on YouTube? Like your videos are so good, and they're like mainly like you're. I can tell that you're super passionate about F1. So I'm like,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
not do a business in that? But when your answer to the question of like, man, I think I would enjoy somebody make the videos. So, but what you said at the beginning was, I want to document me growing my channel. I think
yeah, yeah,
you're trying. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? So like, it's two different things. You have people that help people grow a channel, which is more about the numbers and the growth. So that's why you're like worried about the numbers. There's
yeah,
people. that help you edit videos. There's people that help you script videos. There's people that help you do thumbnails. I think you're really good at making great documentaries. Like you're already good at that. So like that is something you could already tell. It's not about. I think if you were to make a course, my feedback based on like what you're already doing is don't make it about like the growth. Make it about for example, if I'm a movie, if I'm like a film, if I'm helping people make films, I'm not like, hey, I'm
Hmm.
gonna help you make a box office hit and it's gonna sell all these tickets. It's just like I'm gonna show you how to make a film. Like I'll help you with the lighting. I'll help you with X, Y, Z, like putting the film together. So I think, or I guess, like, what are your thoughts on like going more down that path of like the creative side? Because you're already like kind of like you're already like really good at that part.
Oh, cheers. Um, yeah, because no, I think you're right because I would, like I just mentioned, I would like to talk about the creative side. I would like to talk. I'd rather talk about the editing, the script writing, the storytelling framework I use than the growth tactics. So I think you're
Yeah,
right in that route.
yeah. I think I would possibly go down that route of what was I gonna say? It's like people. There's people, and it's like you're doing like faceless videos. I think that's what holds a lot of people back too. Is they think like, oh, I have to. They see what I'm doing, and like, yeah, but I don't want to. I'm not good at like talking on camera. And when yours is like you don't even need to be on camera, but you do got to know how to like script them. You got to know how to edit them. You probably got to know how to find like the clips and like how do you use the clips? How do you put the music
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it
yeah,
all together? How do you make sure you're telling a really good story? How do you find the different things that you're going to talk about? How do you title them? How do you like? There's all those types of
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot, yeah. And there is one thing there is one problem with having like a faceless channel with me not being in the videos as much as I should be, is that I'm not growing a following. I might get all these views, but they're not returning viewers. If that makes sense, they just come in, they watch the docs, and they go. They're not following me for me, so that's something that's holding back uh, my growth, I think.
Um, I can see what you mean. I think I really like if I'm in your shoes, I would really be spending a lot of time thinking about like what's the business model that I want to have, because coaching it's like coaching is like it's a thing on its own. Like you have people that get really good at knowing how to do something. That does not make you like a good coach like automatically. Now you got to know how to like actually help people do it. You got to structure it in a way. You got to know how to sell it. Like that's a whole nother like skill, whole nother business model. Versus like you're already really passionate about F1, you're already passionate about like you're already good at making these videos. Like is there a way that you could do something in that world already? Like with those people, like make those people your target audience. Maybe you're selling them something or you're making videos for the actual maybe the drivers themselves or you're working with the companies or you're doing brand deals with those people. And then like you can always like have a course on the side, but it's just like hey, I just have this thing. It doesn't have to be like the main thing.
Yeah, yeah,
I just like you're already doing something that's really cool, and then it's like like, but it's like you're not even able to leverage that really because you're like hey, I'm just growing this so I can show you guys that I'm growing it. Versus like hey,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
the F1 and let me just put all my energy into this. You could become known as that guy in that industry, and then you would get a lot of opportunities.
yeah,
And I think you would have more fun doing it. In my opinion, I feel like you'd have a lot more fun doing that because I know it's something you're passionate about. And like
yeah,
the thing I think is the difference between me and like other coaches I know is like this is my favorite part. Like I like talking to people. I like answering their questions. A lot of people are just like, bro, I want a way to make money and sell my knowledge, but I'm not really trying to talk to people. I'm not really trying to deal with people. I'm not really trying to like they don't want to like be seen. They're not like really trying to so it's like but you have to deal with a lot of people. And it's like people are gonna be like doing refunds or like you gotta try to sell to them. It's just like a whole other freaking thing. As you've probably seen from me trying to do it. Uh
yeah,
but and every business is hard, but I think that's why it's important to choose like the hard thing. Like the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I had other businesses that I did where I was making money. And then people would always ask me like, bro, how are you making money? How'd you do this? How'd you start a clothing line? How'd you do this? How are you make money as a music producer? How are you doing these things? And I always found more fulfillment in helping other people do it than just me doing it by myself. So
Yeah,
like someone was like, why are you doing what you're doing? It's not just like, oh, I just wanted to make money and travel. It's like, well, that's like my favorite thing to do. That's why I do it every day. Like I'm almost always meeting up with someone at a coffee shop, getting on a video call, and helping them with their business in some way. So I'm like, why wouldn't I just do that as a business? So I think for you, you're already making stuff. You're already heavily in F1. It's like, why not have a business that's based in that? And those, I don't know exactly what that would look like, but I feel like there's something in that direction.
yeah. No, definitely. Because no, you're right. I've been into Formula One for since I was a little kid. So it's definitely a passion. Watching the sport, following the sport, and talking about the sport. So it it would be easier if I went down that route rather than trying to force a coaching type of thing. So
Yeah, and
it just
I think, for example, you have Netflix, right?
mhm.
I don't know who owns
Yeah,
Netflix.
yeah,
I never see their face. I don't see anything. Google, right? I don't see them, but like they're still building like a brand. Like people are still into that. Like even Apple, like obviously at some point they had Steve Jobs, but like still people are into like like the Apple logo and whatnot. So I think if you might not have to show your face, but if you can build a brand, like build a brand that's within the F1 community, and people start to know that name, and then you just have to figure out like
yeah,
what is the business model, because there's so many different things, right? You can use content, like you're already getting the views, so you have viewers, and those people like I wouldn't just click on your videos if you didn't share them with me, because I've never seen like I'm from Indiana where we have Indy 500, right? And to me, I was
yeah,
just like, bro, I want to watch cars go around in a circle for like 3 hours or 10 or however long they do it. Like that's just not for me. So
yeah,
for people who are watching your videos, there's a majority of them are interested in F1, and some are just interested in a good story. Like for me, I would watch your stuff because it's like a good story. Like if it was on Netflix, I'd watch it, but I'm not gonna like
yeah,
follow everything. So the people that are following you are already into that F1. So then it's like, okay, what could I sell or help these people do? And those people are
yeah.
probably not necessarily looking to make their own videos.
No,
That's
no,
like
no, no. You're
do a
right.
whole other thing. Then you're doing this other channel, but the channel that you're building isn't related to YouTube. But then now you have an Instagram that's about the YouTube that's not about, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of moving parts. Versus like
Yeah, yeah,
in the videos, you're just like, hey, we have merch, or you're trying to. There's just like there's a lot of different business models that you could have, but you have brand deals. You have maybe you're getting paid to make the videos for certain companies. There's a lot of different things. That's where my focus would be on, is like this is what I'm
yeah.
passionate about, and I'm already good at doing it. Like you already are getting hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands, on the low end, tens of thousands of views on these videos. And then it's like, hey, I'm going to help you do grow YouTube. Like there's people out there that's like all they care about is like helping people grow on YouTube, right? It's like
Yeah. That's
um but I think like I keep saying, like you're already heavily in uh you're heavily into the F1 community. I feel like you're right now. It's like, hey, I'm just doing this thing on the side that way I can help you make videos, but you already have like a huge you already have a bigger audience doing that than what some people are trying to do, like like helping you grow YouTube.
I get you. I get you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
No.
think of like what that could that. I don't really know a lot. It's harder for me because I don't necessarily know a lot about, like, if you had the business, like I would be able to give more specific feedback. But I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah. No.
about that world to know like what they would need.
The first thing that comes to mind is obviously the merch, like you mentioned, merch. And obviously, I know when people like Roberto Blake, when they talk about entertainment channels, you start a Patreon, you try and build your brand that way, having Patreon and people coming in. So you put like exclusive videos on the Patreon, selling merch, and but yeah, brand deals is definitely one of the most
Yeah,
best,
brand deals,
ways to go around.
Patreon. I think. It's tricky, bro, because you have people that are very good at like what they do. For example, you have people that are really good at being like a rapper or a singer or an actor.
Yeah,
The hard part is like some that takes time to make money. Like a coaching program, like it is difficult, but you can kind of be like, hey, I'll help you grow your YouTube channel. Someone could pay you $1,000, $10,000 today. Now, being an actor, it takes time to make money, but once you succeed, like you can make a lot of money, you know. And so
yeah,
I think the issue nowadays is like, and I've had this issue, is that a lot of us were like, man, I want to make money quickly. And we have a skill that would make us money, but we're focused on like trying to do real estate or coaching or something just because it's like, oh, I want some money now. But in reality, maybe the
mhm,
right thing to do is to just get so good at the skill that you're doing that that turns into monetization, like LeBron, right? It's like you just practice basketball, but yeah, you're not going to make money until you go to the NBA, but you got to be 22 or whatever to get into the NBA. So maybe you could have side hustles and jobs that you work until that takes off, but like the skill is the thing. And maybe for you, it's
yeah,
just like getting better at being a filmmaker and just becoming known for the guy that makes films for F1.
yeah,
And if you become known for that, I feel like the opportunities will come because you'll start meeting the drivers, you'll start meeting the team owners, like the doors will open. But if you're only doing that to then sell a course, it's like you have so many other people selling courses that now it's like there's so much competition. And not to say that you can't do it, but it's like I think you have to really, really be passionate about doing that thing. And I
yeah.
already
I get it.
like way more passionate about F1. And it's like, man, what would happen if you just put all your energy into making those videos as good as possible, and you didn't have to worry about trying to sell it to someone else? And then you could use Instagram to share clips of those videos, and you were just building this brand of like, hey, I'm really about F1. I feel like these stories should be out there, and so I'm making dope videos about it, and it's helping all those people that you're talking about, like get that stuff out there. And then you could
Yeah,
have
yeah,
merch. I feel like those. I feel like those things. That's like kind of where Gary V's kind of has lived for the past like 10 years. Is like, bro, just like keep talking about what you're passionate about, and like eventually it monetizes, and then obviously you would get money on YouTube. Um, I really feel like that's the like based on what I know from you about you and what I've seen is like I think if you became like a really good like filmmaker in that specific niche, because it's not. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know the word a lot, but I feel like that. I feel like that would take you somewhere that you would enjoy being, and not being like, man, I got to
yeah,
teach
yeah,
all
yeah,
these
yeah.
things. I got to set up funnels. I got to do offers. I got challenges. I got to grow email lists. Blah blah blah. It's like you could really just be it. Like the more successful you get with what you're doing now, like you get to hang around those people, and I feel like that would be more fulfilling to you than just hanging out with
Yeah,
people who want to grow a YouTube
that'd be
channel.
pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that would be pretty cool if it did ever hang around with those people. But yeah, no, it does make sense because it does combine two of my passions. Because obviously, I'm into like filmmaking and documentaries. So obviously, this is combining my passion of Formula One as well as documentary filmmaking into one, like uh, passion for Formula One YouTube. So yeah, so it does make sense going down this route, trying to improve my filmmaking and the documentaries. So yeah,
Yeah,
just being that.
I would just like seeing you at like the races and like people know that oh that's the guy that makes like those really good films, you know? Like that's gonna
Yeah,
stay hard, bro. Like that and then it's like you're getting paid to do what you love. And you're in the circle of people that are doing the things that you really like. I feel like that like I've watched your videos, I'm like I can tell you're like super excited about about this topic. It's not just
yeah,
something you did just to like get views. I'm like this dude loves F1.
yeah. No, I do. So no, that does make sense. So you think with the IG, I should just swap that for like the clips, F1 clips, more F1 clips than behind the scenes, or what do you think with the IG? Just
One
drop that.
hundred percent, bro. I like if I'm you, and I think sometimes good thing, bro. Like I feel like sometimes God is like, hey, you were gonna go down this path, and if everything was successful, you would have kept going, but it's just not the right path for you. So I have to throw in some roadblocks that way you can kind of start thinking about things. And we think we're like, like really, it's like, hey, I want to make sure you're on the right path. So I think like if I'm in your shoes, and obviously like still do some thinking like on your own, but like if I'm in your shoes, I would be like, all right, I really love filmmaking and I love F1. Like I should just become a really dope filmmaker. Now, the issue with that is like, how do I make money as a filmmaker? Same way that someone would have to say, how do I make money if I want to help people grow their online coaching business, or sorry, if I want to help people grow their YouTube channel. So there's different ways you can do that. You can have courses, you have coaching programs, you can have virtual events, you can have challenges, blah blah blah. So it would be up to that person to do the research and to say, how do I monetize this? You could even do a, hey, I'm just going to do YouTube channel and I'm just going to try to make money off the AdSense. So like there's different ways within that thing to make money, not just courses. So the same way is
Yeah,
like, how do I make money as a filmmaker? So this is where like now are becoming the student of that, going on YouTube. How do I make money as a filmmaker? How do I monetize like my films? Looking for Facebook groups, meetups of those people, trying to get into the circle of the like meeting the racers, maybe not the people that are at the top, but smaller, like the team owners, like just getting inside of that world. And I'm sure like as you start doing that, you're going to start learning more like how do I do this? It's like I think it's like somebody that loves writing books. Like, dude, you maybe having a coaching program and a course is not for you. Like, be J.K. Rowling and make Harry Potter, and then just if you focus on making Harry Potter, like they're gonna have movies, they're gonna have theme parks, they're gonna have all this stuff. Like, I think not
yeah,
everyone is about like the teaching of the thing. And so I feel like for that person, then your responsibility is how do I make money as an author? Okay, I got to learn about the publishing. I got to learn about selling books. Like I need to learn about that stuff. So I think that's the situation that you're in is like, how do I make money as a filmmaker? And these are the types of films I want to make. And the good thing is you already know how to make the films and they're already really good and you know how to get views.
yeah.
So you focus on doing
On
that
some of
for
them.
you're going to make you'd be making money.
Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm just noting this down.
Yes, sir.
Cool. No, it does make a lot of sense. I would be a lot happier doing it that way
Yeah, because
than
then
trying
like when
to.
you meet people and they're like, what do you do? You're like, I make films about like F1, or whatever it is, and it's like it makes so much sense. It's like, and then when I look at it, it's like, oh, this is really cool. And then I just think that makes so much sense. And then again, it's just figuring out how to monetize that, and then that's what I would be helping you with inside the inside of Undeterred is like, okay, now that you have this business model, how do we make sure that you're growing it and you're not feeling stuck?
Yep. No, that makes sense. Definitely. Cool. No, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think
I'm
I
excited.
always try to people with like practical action steps. So like for me, if it's me, I would go on YouTube and then I would be searching for that, like making money as a filmmaker, like becoming a popular,
Yep.
not popular, but like make monetizing, like making films. I would find channels. I would subscribe to those channels. I would follow those people on Instagram, and I would be learning from those people. Are there books? Are there events that I can go to? And just start learning. I think a lot of people they're just like they never like even look into that. Like there's so many times people have a business. I'm like, did you ever look at any like how to videos on like how to like grow a restaurant or how to like sell a clothing brand? And it's like it amazes me the amount of times like people are like, no, you know? And I'm like, there's so many people out there that have this knowledge that if you would just like they're the ones that are passionate about that. Like just go learn from them, get involved in other circles, and then this is how you're gonna learn how to start making money. And then it's and then that's where like coming up with the dream, like what is the goal that you want to achieve like when the next year or something like that, and then you're just like every day you're like just chipping away at trying to get to that.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Definitely. Cool. So, what would you say is my first few steps next few weeks? Initial steps.
I also, so
Just
obviously I said like the YouTube thing. I would focus on like I would think of two different things, right? Because I think you have two directions. If you want to be a filmmaker, I would assume that you have if you want to be a filmmaker, you can either be known as the filmmaker, like you have your own pages, or you have like the company like page, like the brand that makes films. So kind of deciding which way. I feel like you already have that. It's not like you're trying to always be on the face, so you can just have like whatever the brand name is of these films. But think of it as like I'm trying to build a brand. I'm trying to build a maybe like a production company as you're thinking about this. Like this is the name that I want. Like when people see a Netflix, it says like they have like their little intro or whatever their company is called.
Yeah,
And then I would have the page on Instagram, and I would be focusing on like building those. So I would have I don't know what that content would look like for sure on Instagram, but maybe it's just like sharing little clips of the documentaries. I'm sure you could find examples, but
yeah,
I'll start like, okay, this is the brand that I have. I know that I want to make films. I got to learn how to monetize it, and then I got to learn like what the business like model is. So I guess to recap that, finding people on YouTube that you can learn from in terms of like making money as like a filmmaker, thinking of like what the brand like structure would be, and then creating like the social media pages for it, like but uh, not necessarily trying to focus on every platform, but just like creating the pages so like they're there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's good. Yeah, no, I got a lot to think about and plan. So, well, but take action on as well. I don't want to be stuck in a
Yeah,
planning
I
page, planning
think it'll be
phase.
good. I think it'll be good, man. Like you just keep focusing on pumping out these videos and just getting better as a filmmaker. I mean, it's kind of like what Casey Neistat was doing, right? I mean, he loved making films, started making films, and he just like blew
Yeah,
up. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's I don't know if you heard someone called Dodford. He makes like YouTube documentary videos, and he earns quite a lot
how do
as
I how do I find the channel?
Dod, Dodford, Dodford, Dodford. So he makes like pop culture documentaries. He's got about 400k subs,
Oh
376.
wow, these are very interesting like titles. Like Harrison Ford doesn't care. Robert Patterson had enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think like since like as you get more into this world, you'll be able to see like okay, what are people doing? Because you can even so for him, I'm looking. He has a Patreon. The rest of his links are social media. So let's look at his at what he's doing on Patreon. Does he have a
yeah,
membership?
he's got Patreon.
So he has one that's $19 a month. In-depth perspective on what it takes to go from initial concept to finished product of a documentary. Gain access to download assets include outline, script. So like you can go to his YouTube channel and just look like this is what he has. So basically behind the scenes. I think okay. This looks like that's the only option that he has is a $19 a month thing. So that's where like obviously you can start to get more creative with that too. I think like it you can like focus on being a filmmaker, but the more entrepreneurial minded you can be, the better. Because I think
Yeah,
you also like if you look at the top, like for example, you look at like Kanye West, Drake, Jay Z, like these people. Um, yeah, they're focusing on being a musician and using that talent, but they're entrepreneurial in the way that they go about it. Not just like, hey, I'm going to make songs. So they get
yeah,
creative
yeah,
with
yeah.
the talent. So if you can be entrepreneurial about being a filmmaker, that's where it's like, okay, I'm focusing on making films, but I'm being entrepreneurial about my Patreon and how I have this set up. So that's where you can come up with different creative ideas. But I think the cool thing is like if you just find a lot of these people, you can just look at like what they're doing, like how I just did. It's like okay, cool. Maybe Patreon is the way for a lot of people, or maybe you have your own community like how I do, but it's not about teaching people. It's about them getting access to different things. Maybe you do events at you. Maybe you do meetups at like. There's so many different things. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think that's what you got to figure out is like what does that business model look
yeah.
like?
Yeah. No, no, no. You're right. Just open my mind and try and think. No, and do my research.
Keep me updated, man. Obviously, you're in the membership, but just keep me updated. I know,
Yeah,
like, I know, like the main thing you said for you is just like getting the finances right now, but I think like what you're trying to do is a creative thing. And so in the time being, it might be a thing where there might need to be a supplemental income that's not that doesn't come from that thing. But I think focusing on the creative side is the right thing. Like this guy, like you like I was listening. I think it was like a Drake song earlier or something like that. He's talking about like sleeping in the car. You know what I mean? It's like it sometimes
Mm.
it takes that. When you're doing trying to do something creative, you're still an entrepreneur, but the thing you're selling is like your creativity and not like a service. So it's like
Yeah.
until people start seeing the value and like how good that is, like it just sometimes takes a little bit of grinding. That's where you might have to have like side hustles. Like, dang, I don't really want to do this, but like I need to do that. But that's where I think also like learning about the monetization, because if you can say, hey, I'm going to have a Patreon, this dude has one for $19 a month. What would I need to provide people that get them to pay $100 or $500 a month?
Oh,
Then
yeah.
you know what I mean? That's where like a lot of these people aren't thinking at that level. So they're just like, oh, I got
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
it cheap. Okay, what could I offer or what could I sell that's within this creative? Like I always thought, for example, like musicians, like if I'm a well known musician and I'm already going to the studio. Like, how cool would it be if I could be in the studio with let's say like this just like a popular name, right? Like Taylor Swift. How many people would like to be in the studio with Taylor Swift? Like, see what it's like making a
Yeah.
song. She's already gonna be in the studio. So it's like if you had like your own membership or your own community where it's like they could see that, they could get early song releases, they could get different access to you that maybe other people can't. I'm sure certain people would pay $50, $100 like to that. Like people pay money to go to a meet and greet. So that's where I think like that's where I'm
Yeah.
saying like entrepreneurial side has to come out. Like they're focusing on the art, but they're like, all right, if I did a meet and greet, some people would pay $100. If I sold a signed CD, people would pay this much. If I sold T-shirts, people would pay this much. So your focus is on the art, but you're having an entrepreneurial way about how you like sell it and market it.
Yep. No. No. That's good. I think one other thing I do struggle with, I just need to touch on. Obviously, you mentioned that the videos aren't bombs, but but for me, because it takes so long to put these videos together, it takes me like a few weeks, and I know I need to do it quicker. I know there's too many gaps between uploads. Like when you spend so much time on a video and then it doesn't do well, it does affect like my motivation. So that is something that I do need to get over. Like if I'd spend a whole month on a video and it only gets like 100 views, when the other one's got over 100,000 views, it's just that knockback that I get
Okay,
that I
so
do
then
need
the
to work
question.
in.
So all right, this is easy. This is how I think about it. So you have a YouTube video, like you said, it gets 100 views. The other one's got 100,000 views. Instead of being emotional, the question is, why did that video only get 100 views?
No, no, it's a valid question. Valid question.
So let's think about it. Think about a video that you had. You said some of your videos recently didn't. Some of them didn't do well. Why didn't they do well?
It would either be the topic, the thumbnail, the title, the hook, the initial 30
Okay.
seconds at the start of the video.
So this is what people do. They get all emotional. Oh my God, I spent 2 weeks on this video, however long, and I put all this effort into it. I put it out and it didn't get a lot of views. I'm overwhelmed. I'm burnt out. Blah blah. Bro, no one cares about how long it takes us to do stuff. Like they don't care. They don't really care that. They don't care how much effort it takes us. So
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you can say, like you just did, okay, the topic wasn't good. What wasn't good about the topic? Well, maybe people don't care about this specific thing. They care about this. Okay, so the next video, don't use that topic. The
Yeah,
thumbnail wasn't good. What wasn't good about the thumbnail? Well, I tested this thing. Okay, you're really just like a scientist. You're testing things. So you don't need to feel bad. You just have to learn. So you posted a
yeah,
video. If the other one's got 100,000, this one got 100 or 1,000 or whatever it is, you just look at like why did it, and you learn from it, and then you get better the next video, and then the next video, and the next video. And your goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to learn and improve every video. And if you can just do that every video, like eventually you become really great at like what you're doing. That's why like for me, a lot of the stuff I do, sometimes I do get worn out, but I'm like, it's more about just like learning. Like why didn't it do well? Like what like people don't want to think about that. People don't want to take the time to be like, well, what did I do wrong? Like you probably did something. There's probably something you could have done better. And then when you're like, well, there's nothing I could have done better. It's like, so then why are you upset? Like you did as good as you could do. That's it. That's the only thing you. So if you did as good as
Definitely, yeah.
you could do, then you're good. But if there's something better that you could do, you just have to bite. You just have to suck it up and be like, all right, yeah, it sucks that it took a lot of time, a lot of energy, and I'm not getting the results that I wanted. But I just got to get better. Like it's not
Yep.
just a guarantee of like, hey, I put you. Like we're getting to a point where we're almost like entitled. Like, man, I spent 2 weeks. I should get 100,000 views. Like, brother, the world doesn't work like that.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
No, I
people that
totally understand.
there's athletes that it's like you're training all season. You're not gonna just automatically win the NBA championship or the Super Bowl. Like nobody cares. It took you 10 years that you've been working and you haven't won yet. I think it's just that it's more about the mindset of like I think like mastery. Like you're just on a journey of mastering it, not perfecting it now.
Mhm.
So like I want to become a good filmmaker. I'm just putting out films. I'm putting out art. I'm testing it. I'm testing it. And the thing that holds people back is like they're afraid of that. Like I think the best people, the people that create art aren't afraid of like having stuff out there that sucks because they test it. You never know. Like a lot of the best
Yeah.
movies, a lot of the best songs are stuff that people are like. I didn't think anyone was actually going to even like that. So you just
No,
put it
you're
out.
right.
And also the thing you have to realize too is like we don't really know what is good and what's bad. You could have a video that has 100 views, and out of those 100 people, one is actually the one of the F1 drivers that you look up to. And bro, I like that video, bro. Like that was good. Like you never know who's watching it. You know what I mean? Because you could have 100,000 views or people that don't care at all. So you never know. That's why I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, you want to obviously you want to get a lot of views, but I think also more so it's more like getting meaningful views. So it's not just about like
100%.
viral and having all these people. Like you want to build a community of people that care about what you're doing. And if you were to make these films and then say, "Hey, I'm showing this film at the movie theater every week," and 200 people showed up, I'm sure you'd be super excited about that. Like you're not like, "Oh, bro, like 200,000 people didn't show up." It's like, bro, come on.
Yeah, no, you're right. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
so yeah, just focus on the consistency, man. Like you're already doing a good job. Just try to think of like how often you want to put them out, whether that's every week, every month, and then just learn from each one, bro. Like there's a lot of actors, producers, directors that have movies that are trash, bro. You know what I mean? It happens.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen, bro. Like Michael Jordan had bad games. You just keep shooting, you just keep putting stuff out, and you just keep trying to learn. And I think you keep doing that over time, like eventually you become really good at what you're doing. And you beat all the people that gave up because they got to that point where it's like, oh, this I started getting videos that this isn't working because my videos stopped getting a lot of it's like just keep going, bro. Just keep going, just keep going. Like like
yeah.
it'll take off.
No, that makes sense. I was thinking about adding some more talking head videos. So in between the docs, obviously I'll try and put one out one a month, but then in between that I just have normal talking videos where I talk about the sport or talk about stories within the sport, just to fill those weeks where I'm not uploading.
I think so, bro. I think you become that guy that's known for that in the sport. Like I feel like it's gonna open a lot of doors for you.
Okay, cool. That's good. Cool, man.
All right, bro.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna go get something to eat because it's Ramadan here, and well, I guess it's Ramadan not everywhere in the world based on like the moon or whatever. But it's like, man, like the restaurants are finally opening, and it's like almost 8 p.m. So I'm like, all right, let me go. Things are open. Let me go eat. Of
Yeah, no, that's good. So yeah, no, thank you so much for this. Thank you very much. Appreciated.
course, bro. One thing I was just sitting here thinking about and kind of brainstorming about, I was kind of writing it over here, is just like the check ins or the accountability. And then this is for like the calls membership. And I think the accountability should be more for like one on one. So, like, if they need accountability, it's not just like posting every day and saying, hey, what are you working on? Because that could be a lot of work for people. Like, maybe they don't feel like doing that. But when I'm working with them one on one, that can be accountability, or they can find an accountability partner. But I think like the daily check in can be good. because I can just ask them like what wins do they have, what questions they have, and I can include like motivation or like a video. So I'm just going to keep that here. It's pretty simple. All I got to do is really just duplicate this every day, copy or go here and then hit duplicate post. And I can just say like, do you have any recent wins that you want to share? Anything that you need help with today? And then I can sometimes share like a voice message or something like that. These are easy to do. So I think I'll just keep it for now. And as the membership grows, I'll get feedback. But it's something that's so simple that it's like, why not just do it? I was thinking about removing it, but I'm like, if I can just check in with them. And then like some of these, like I'll like tag people in them. Like this one that has like 4 comments. I can tag people in them and be like, hey, how's everything going today? Anything you need help with? I think that's kind of what entrepreneurs need. Sometimes we're just so busy in what we're doing that like we don't have anyone to check in and say, hey, do you need help with anything today? And sometimes people are like, yeah, actually, you know what I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and just change that back to daily check-in, and then I'll update it on the site too. Yeah, I'm about to meet up with some friends before I leave. And bro, this city's like a ghost town at night now. Look at this. It's like nothing's open, bro. It's like 8 p.m. Nothing's open. This is insane. Look at this. This feels like COVID. Feels like the pandemic. Bruh. This is wild. Oh my gosh. Bro, what? Yo. Today's been a wild day, kinda. I was actually about to go to sleep and I was like, dang, I forgot to do the outro. But tomorrow, I'm actually moving to Budapest. So I've been in Casablanca, Morocco for the past 4 months. I was in Albania before, and then I was in actually Budapest, Hungary before that for like a year and a half. So I started traveling the world with my wife and stepdaughter in 2021. We've been traveling pretty much ever since. Since it's my stepdaughter, she goes back to see her dad every now and then. So my wife and her are in Orlando. They've been there for a while, actually, just because as I've been trying to build, it's just like having the finance for everything. That's a story for another day that I'm too tired to now. And then I was just seeing some friends like before I leave, and it's just like, dang, packing up and just leave. Like I booked the flight like couple days ago, and just like moving around like so much sometimes wears on you, it gets exhausting. But yeah, tomorrow's a travel day. And man, I'm just really tired right now, just trying to get everything. So tomorrow I can maybe explain a little bit more about Budapest and what the future maybe holds traveling wise. But for now, I hope that this episode was valuable to you in some way. If you would like my help growing your business, you would like to check out, Undeterred, I'll leave the link to that below. Also, every day, Monday through Friday, I'm sending different business tips, different things to help you grow your business. So that's with my newsletter. I'll leave the link below to that. And then if you would like to be on the vlog as one of the people that get a free like coaching call basically and be on the vlog like I did today with Andy, just drop a comment below or let me know on Instagram. And man, really appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you making it to this far. Oh, Taylor, who had been staying with me that I knew in Albania, he had been staying here for 2 months. He left back to Albania. So it's just like a lot going on. Like he left back to Albania. I'm about to go to Budapest. It's just like, man, there's just so much going on in life. But all is good, but it's just like can be a lot at once. So no more of me saying all the more and then him saying, what does he say? Something in Albanian. But man, appreciate you tuning in and all the more.